Hey everyone, it's me, it's your girl Nicole Marie, back with another video. I have been away um, for a while, just taking a break from social media and posting content while also having technical difficulties. So I am back, but I wanted to title this video "Pop Music is Depressing." And before we get started, I just want to say that this video is not about one particular artist or even the genre itself, pop music. So when I say pop music is depressing, I'm talking about all mainstream music today. So this could range from R&B, this could range from pop, actual pop, hip hop, rap, etc. So a few weeks ago, I think about 2 weeks ago, I was listening to one of my favorite artists from the early 2000s. And mind you, we're close in age. So she released her new EP. And I won't say who this artist is. And I decided to check it out, even though I decided to stop listening to her. And before I started listening to the EP, I was looking for it on Apple Music, and I was trying to find a clean version. And when there wasn't an option for a clean version, I was like, okay, like this is why I stopped listening to her in the first place. But again, I still checked it out. It sounded great. Harmonies, vocals. It was mixed and mastered very well. All those, beats, whatever, all those things sounded great. But there was only one problem. It was the lyrics. The entire theme of the album was about feminism, cheating, creating soul ties, and dysfunction. And now that I think about it, that's the very reason why I stopped listening to her in the first place, because her previous records had those same themes of broken relationships, soul ties, cheating, feminism, all those things. And that's, again, why I stopped listening to her in the first place. And I said earlier in this video that this video wasn't about one particular artist, and I want to be very, very clear on that. This video is not just about this artist. Because see, the problem is I see this a lot with mainstream pop and R&B singers, and I've yet to hear a song where a female singer is taking accountability and apologizing to the man. We hear that and we see that from male singers, where they're apologizing, and when they're taking accountability, and when they're trying to make the relationship work. We've heard that in music. From male singers. And again, I'm not trying to make this a sexist video at all. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to draw a comparison between the two, because we should not be in our 30s making songs about cheating, making songs about feminism, toxicity, being the side chick, all those types of things. Like, we should not be making songs like this, nor should we be listening to these types of songs in the first place. Because at a certain age, when you turn 30, I feel like something mentally just clicks the moment you turn 30, or when you're in your 30s, you have some type of epiphany where, I have to grow. There's things that needs to take place in my 30s that I didn't do, or there's things that I should have done better that I didn't do in my 20s. My 20s were a train wreck, so let me fix this now. Like, there should be some sort of growth, and I feel like I'm not getting that from a lot of our female mainstream pop singers and R&B singers. There's a sense of arrested development taking place, because regardless of whether you're a married woman, single, in a relationship, whether you're a married woman or a married man, like, you should be at a different place in life mentally. And me personally, I think if you are married, I don't think you should be listening to these types of songs with those recurring things. Now, maybe they're fun to listen to, like when you're in the gym because the beat is fast or whatever. That's cool. I mean, again, that's borderline, but say you're in a gym and you're trying to get these last 20 minutes, and the song that is toxic, it has a really fast beat to it. Okay, cool. Again, like I said, that's kind of borderline, I think, but I don't think you should be listening to these songs religiously. And I apologize I have my retainers in my mouth, and they make my voice. They make me sound weird or whatever. But I was listening to Summer Walker's album when it came out at the end of 2021. And I remember when everyone was talking about it all over social media, it was trending everywhere. And so at that time, I was like, oh, let me check it out, because I remember liking her previous releases. And, you know, again, that album was great sonically, beat selection, production, vocals, harmonies, all the things. But there was one problem, and it was the lyrics. And there was one song in particular, and it was called, it's called Reciprocate. And again, this is a great song. If you're just paying attention to the production, then it's a great song. But if you really pay attention to the lyrics, I think it can be depressing. And I think this is the chorus. She says, all I wanted was for you to stay. It's the bare minimum for me. I don't want to throw it all away. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. All I wanted was for you to stay. It's the bare minimum for me. I don't want to throw it all away, but you are going to have to reciprocate. And I don't know. I just thought about something. I don't know what she says. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. What's a good thing? The idea of her and the guy working it out and staying together and living happily ever after, or what? Because there's nothing good about a man treating you right. That's called the bare minimum. I'm sorry. Who wrote this song? Songwriters, Arsenio. Okay. But yeah, I mean, a man treating you right should not be called the bare minimum. I'm sorry. Like, if that's what we're calling that, then we have bigger problems. Not enough time for the sake of this video, and not even appropriate for this channel. But that album made me depressed. And this was right before I met my husband, which was a pivotal time in my life at that time. And I remember listening to it right before I met my husband. It was like January, early February of 2022, and the weather didn't help, that it was gray and that it was cloudy and that it was rainy. So I was listening to this album in the car, and like I said, the weather didn't help. The song is depressing. I'm depressed. She's depressed. Now we're all depressed. And you know, I think that artists that makes this type of music, they need to go away. Like, and I'm not saying that to be mean, so hear me out. They need to go away and live life for a few years. Because if the only thing we have to talk about is cheating, feminism, and dysfunction, then it's time to stop writing, leave the studio, put the pen down, and go live life. Because no matter our age, Summer Walker is 25? She was 25. Taylor Swift is 36. Now, I don't know if Taylor Swift still makes this type of music. I feel like she does. But you mean to tell me that there are no new epiphanies? You mean to tell me there are no new life changes? No new nothings? I mean, seriously. And if that's all you know, then it might be time to take a sabbatical for a few years and do some soul searching, because the problem, you might be the problem. You just might be the problem, because if there's nothing new for us to talk about other than how he cheated and how toxic the relationship is, then again, you might be the problem. And I can't say that I blame the labels. I can't say that, I don't know who to blame, because a lot of artists are now independent, but there are a lot of these artists who are signed. I don't know if it's their own doing that they want to write these types of songs, or if it's the label pushing them to write these types of songs, because maybe it's a certain agenda. And I'm not trying to, dig too deep off into the deep end, because this channel is specifically about music. But certain labels, they do have an agenda of what they want their artists to push. They have a lot of artists who are signed, they don't have creative control. So they have to sing or write songs that the label tells them to do. It's kind of like a boss, like you're working for Atlantic Records. And so this is the songs, these are the songs we have. You have to sing songs about this, and that's the thing. So I don't know if it's the artist or if it's the labels, or if it's both. I don't know. But I do know this: everyone is depressed nowadays. Everyone has anxiety. Everyone is on edge for whatever reason. And I don't mean to be insensitive when I say this. But have we ever thought that maybe part of the reason why we're so depressed, part of the reason why we're so anxious, part of the reason why we're always literally on edge is because it has to do with the music we're listening to? I want to pull up a scripture. It's Proverbs 4:23. It is, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Are we really guarding our heart? Are we really safeguarding our ear gates with the music we listen to? I want to tell you a story. In December of 2019, I was suffering from really, really high resting heart rates. Sometimes my heart rate would be in the 120s, and that's just me sitting down, or even in the 130s. I remember going to the hospital, the emergency room, and the nurse said, "Wow, your heart rate is 120." And my friend from college, Brittany, she told me that maybe the reason why I'm so anxious and why my heart rate is so high has to do with the music that I was listening to. Now, I don't know what made her say this or why she thought maybe there was certain music I was listening to that I shouldn't be listening to, but she told me, and that floored me because I didn't think that the two could be connected. But I will say, a few months later into the pandemic, I was on my way to work. And I was listening to some East Coast New York City rap music, and I love East Coast New York. I love New York. Okay, like I was there in 2019. I was there in October. I was in Brooklyn. I like New York. I really love it. And I was almost gonna move there, but I was listening to some East Coast New York City rap, and I just remember feeling angry because of the music I was playing. And it was a really, really good day. Like, there was no traffic because it's the pandemic. I'm on my way to work. There's no I'm literally the only car on the freeway. And the sun was shining. It was great. It was a good day. And I remember just out of nowhere just feeling angry and hyper. And I'm like, wait, why do I feel like this? And I was like, oh, it's this angry gangster rap music I'm playing. The rapper, he's mad, he's yelling, he's hyper. Now that energy has gotten transferred on me. Now I'm mad, I'm hyper, I'm driving fast. Like, let me slow down. So the point I'm making is you have to be careful of your ear gates. I probably should have took my retainers out before doing this video. It feels weird. But now, 5.5 years later, thank God, I don't suffer from high resting heart rates, because since then I made some changes in what I listen to. And I think that there's an entire generation of people who really are seeking healing and peace. Now, only Jesus can heal us and give us peace, which surpasses all understanding. And I want to make that very, very clear. But a lot of times, though, the only place people may run to first before anything else is the music that they listen to. Now, I believe that music can be a tool used for healing and to even bring people to Christ. But how can people heal or seek healing if the only music that is being pushed on them is about cheating, violence, being the side chick on the weekends, or creating soul ties? And I want to say that Control album by SZA in 2017, that was such a great album, but it was so toxic. Oh my gosh, it was so toxic. But it was sonically, production wise, it was such a great album, but it was toxic. You know, being a side chick on the weekend, I don't know. Again, this video is not talking, it's not talking bad about one particular artist. It's talking bad about the message that's being pushed in these great songs. You know, and songwriters, you know, I'm speaking directly to you. Like, we have the power, as a writer myself, we have the power to change the way people see the world with the music that we write. we live in a broken world, and God granted us with the gift of song, and I feel like we're wasting it away. And if you want to know why music from the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s still has an effect on us today, is because there was variety. Like, yeah, there might have been songs about, bad things, right? But I feel like there was variety. When I think about the 80s, the main artist that comes to mind is Luther Vandross, Anita Baker, Whitney Houston. We had variety. And then, I'm a millennial, 91. My parents, they're baby boomers. My dad was a baby boomer, and my mom is a baby boomer. So with that being said, in the early 90s, I grew up listening to a lot of 70s soul music. So that has an effect. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe that did something to me, because I feel like I'm an old soul, because, while everyone is listening to Aaliyah and whatever, I'm here in the car listening to, Bobby Womack and what's the other artist that I heard my dad play? What's the name of that song? Oh, it was by LTD. Love Ballad? Yeah, it was LTD, Love Ballad. So I'm listening, I'm hearing these types of songs as a kid growing up. So maybe that has to do, maybe that's the reason why I'm an old soul. I don't know. I feel like I am sometimes. But I digress. But again, it was a different time, and like I said, you have variety. Now I feel like there's none at all. We just have Sexy Red, Meg Thee Stallion, all these artists, and I know, I believe, what's his name? Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars did a song with Sexy Red, and I don't know where that came from. Fat, Juicy, and Wet. We're not even gonna read those lyrics, because I feel like we have an idea of what fat, juicy, and wet means, and we're not going to talk about that. But nobody's falling in love, getting married anymore, because everyone's making songs about twerking and cheating, and that leads me to my next point, and as to why song selection for my channel and why that's important. I'm extremely careful with the songs that I decide to cover, because I want my YouTube channel to be a place of serenity when you come to visit, and like there's, I'm just take a past look at my YouTube. There's Norah Jones, there's Put Your Records On. I try to be very careful, even though some of the songs that I cover are old. Like the song came out like 20 years ago, Put Your Records On by Corinne Bailey Rae. There's Summertime. There's me doing One in a Million at So Far by One in a Million by Aaliyah. There's Streams. There's Sunday by Tori Kelly off her Hiding Place album. So again, I'm very careful with what I sing. I'm very careful with what I sing. I will gladly accept cover requests, but it has to align with my personal convictions. And, that's why, as a married woman, a married Black woman, I feel like it's my duty to write love songs. And I wrote a love song, and I released it almost a year ago. And here it is. It's With You. It's a song that I wrote. It's about my husband and I.
Saturday afternoon, yeah, riding down the avenue with you. Baby, I ain't got no worries, baby, take me anywhere. As long as I'm with you, as long as I'm with you, you. There's no
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like it's my duty as a married Black woman, who is an artist herself, myself, um, and like I said, I think as a writer, I think sometimes it's good to step away and take a break. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like we just had our baby in June, this past June. And I remember asking myself, what do I have to talk about now? Life is different. Motherhood changes you, they say. Like, do I have anything new to talk about? Like, what do I bring to the table lyrically? And I wrote down song titles in my notepad in my phone. And the point that I'm making is sometimes as a writer, you have to take inventory of your discography or where you're at in life to see about how to go forward in your music from there. Like, what new things do you want to talk about or that you haven't talked about? And what I listen to, I have my three favorite female artists that I listen to. Amel LaRue. If you know me, you know I love Amel LaRue. Like her music is like a personal vocal masterclass. I love Cleo Soul. Her music is like a therapy session. It's healing and it's peaceful, and it's also relatable. I also love to listen to Madison Ryan Ward. She's a gospel artist. So those are my three favorite female artists. But there's this other artist, Limo Blaze. He's a Christian rapper. There's Eshawn Burgundy, a Christian rapper, God fearing, just the name of God fearing. That's another rap artist, Christian rap artist that I listen to in the gym. There's old Alicia Keys. I like old Alicia Keys. I haven't listened to her new music really. I don't know. When I started doing music full time, I kind of stopped listening to a lot of my favorite artists because I'm focused on my own. I don't want to listen to a lot of artists because I don't want that to like somehow get transferred into my own music and whatever. But there's for jazz, I listen to Betty Carter, Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, all those things, all those artists. But again, I hope the point of this video wasn't to bash anyone's music or artists. Again, the artists that I named, I like them. I really do. They're great artists, really good singers, but I just don't like the message that's being pushed. And again, I mean, I can just not listen to it. Yeah, you're right. But it's like, why continue making music like that? But I just think that there has to be a standard in the music industry. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if I should blame the record labels or the artists or the society. Maybe it's the society. Maybe we're desensitized. I don't know. I just think we have to do better. Yeah.